Hey, what's going on? Nick Unsworth here, and I'm the CEO of LifeOnFire.com, and it's my mission to help you set your life and business on fire, and really to help you live the dream. So I work with a lot of entrepreneurs of all different types of businesses and niches, and one thing that I found, and one super important thing that I found with working with literally hundreds of entrepreneurs is that there's one common denominator. Every single one of us is held back by fear. That four-letter word that just can change our state, can change our emotions. If you just think of a time where you felt fear, maybe it's about picking up the phone and calling someone. It's about having that tough conversation with someone. Maybe saying I love you for the first time, where it's nervousness and you're scared to say it. But every one of us can relate to the fact that we've experienced fear. And that is the number one thing that holds entrepreneurs back from realizing their dreams and getting everything that they want out of life. And so what I'm here to do is here to break through fear and give you one technique so that you can change fear forever and put it in its frigging place. Because fear is something that shouldn't hold you back. Fear instead should be reframed, and fear should actually fire you up. And that's how I think about it. That's what makes me excel through challenges and through failures and things that would typically be perceived as bad. And instead, I let those things fire me up. And so what I want you to do, it's a very two-step, very simple technique and how to change fear for good. The first step is just to acknowledge it. When you're experiencing fear and that emotion in you, you want to first just acknowledge that it exists, right? And recognize that fear and take note of it, take inventory, right? And realize, why is this happening? You know, in most cases, it's not, a mugger behind you at an ATM. It's not a grizzly bear chasing you, right? It's not the fight or flight. At the end of the day, it's usually little things. It's, you don't feel like doing something because the pain that doing that task is going to cause, which leads to procrastination, which leads to not making decisions, which leads to you not doing things for your business. So recognize whatever the fear is at that moment and then assessing it, right? So when you recognize it, what I want you to then do is just reframe it. This is so simple, just to think about it as when you experience fear, reframe that fear about whatever you are having fear about, and realize that if you actually go towards the fear, many times you're going to actually experience more success. It's kind of like living outside your comfort zone. When you're inside your comfort zone, you're safe, you're playing small, and you're not going to grow, right? When you play outside your comfort zone, it's scary. People experience fear, they're nervous, you're uncomfortable, you're outside your comfort zone. But at the end of the day, that's where the growth occurs. It's the basketball player that's outside their comfort zone, that's training harder than everyone else, that's going to be the best, right? It's the entrepreneur that takes the extra time to go the extra mile and live outside their comfort zone that grows the fastest. And one thing I'd like you to do is to jot down the book called The War of Art. Again, The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. And what he does is he conquers fear, and he shares that you can overcome fear by simply recognizing and being aware that it's going to lead you to something that's positive. So when I experience fear, and as an example, I have Life on Fire TV. I interview New York Times best-selling authors, and I do really cool stuff. But there's a fear about picking up the phone or reaching out online to get that person to be on my show. Right? The fear pops up, and what I've recognized is that those people that I fear to reach out to are oftentimes the ones that I have to have on my show, because they're the ones that have the big audiences, they're the ones that have the strong message, they're the ones that my audience will love, right? So when I experience that fear and I'm like, oh, I don't think I should do that, that's when I stop. I'm number one, I get aware of it, I acknowledge it, and number two, I reframe it and say, you know what, if I do this, what's going to happen is that I'm going to grow like crazy, and this is going to be a huge positive win for my business. And so I make fear something that all it is for me is it's an indicator that something great's about to happen. So instead of being scary, it's like, wow, I'm experiencing fear. I'm so fired up because something great's about to happen. Let me go towards that. So that's really cool. Now once you go towards that, it's like anything else. It's a muscle. You want to train your body, you want to train your mind and your subconscious. You want to train yourself that that's a good thing, right? So you have to practice that. You know, it's like flexing a muscle. The more that you flex that muscle, the better you're going to get at it, the stronger it's going to be. So go towards your fear and start with things that are small. Start with procrastination. Start with, you know, being aware of something that you don't feel like doing or that you're fearing or that you're nervous about, and then go towards it and work that muscle up to bigger and bigger things. And as an entrepreneur, you're going to find that you can get your mindset to a point where you overcome fear and you are literally unstoppable. There is no challenge too big. There is no obstacle that you can't get through, and everything becomes much easier in your life and business. So again, the steps are basically to acknowledge and be aware of the fear, to reframe it and realize that it actually is a positive and that it can get you closer. And all in that too, just grab the book The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, and then after you've done that and you're going towards your fear, the next thing is to reward yourself. Because when you take the time to reward yourself for actually doing these things, it's going to make a huge impact so that you're going to want to keep going towards that fear over and over and over. So I'm fired up that you're going to break through fear yourself, and I want to just challenge you that whatever it is that's on your plate that you don't feel like doing or that you fear doing, or when that pops up for you, I want you to stop, realize what that emotion is, reframe it, go towards it, and take on that challenge that day, that moment. Do something today that's going towards your fear, not away from your fear. And I want you to come back, comment below, let us know what fears that you're breaking through. Let us know any questions that you may have, or if you also have other techniques that you use to break through fear and overcome fear. But definitely share them below. Also be sure to go to lifeonfire.com for more information about how you can set your life and business on fire. So hope you enjoyed the video. Looking forward to comment and interacting with you guys, and we will see you soon. Cheers.